Hello guys, before diving into sets, go over a few different ways to print variables in Python. And we know printing is an essential part of any program, and there are several ways to do it efficiently. So before going to sets, we can go through the print function, the other ways of printing the variable, and now let's explore it. Before that, we need to create a new file, name it as print, and give the name print, which suits here more. And we start with direct variable printing. Okay, and I'm giving fruit apple as the variable. This is how we define a variable here, and we can print it directly. So let's use the print statement and add the variable name using shift plus F10, run it, or you can run using this symbol, or debug and run using this bug symbol. Okay, here we get apple as output as we stored here. Okay, the most basic way to print a variable is to simply call it within the print function like this, and it is quick and straightforward. But there is much more clarity. So if you are using a long code, or if we are doing a programming, a professional one, we can't use like this. Direct printing might end it with a confusion. So there are other ways of printing like concatenation. The next printing way, let's start with concatenation. Okay, we can concatenate using a print statement. Let's print, and I add my favorite fruit is, we use a plus sign here, then add fruit. What happened here? Here we use the plus operator to concatenate the strings. Be mindful that both sides of the plus must be strings, or you will get a type error. Okay? You need to know both sides of the plus must be strings, or you will get a type error. So fruit is a string, and this is also a string. Let's run it. Now we get my favorite fruit is apple. Okay, this is how we print through concatenation. We are just going through this because it's the most basic codes in printing. So just keep in mind that you will get a type error if after the plus operator there is not a string. Okay, just make sure there is a string after the plus operator. Okay, and the third one is printing using comma separation. Okay, here we are using commas other than the concatenation plus operator. Let's print the same. Print my favorite fruit is, using a comma, separate the string and write the variable name. Now let's run. Our output is still the same. We need to, if we want, we just need to backspace the fruit and run it. We will get the same. So here we get the same output, but in concatenation we use the plus operator, but in this here we are using a comma separation. Both works the same way. Just make sure you are using the correct spacing, comma, and whatever operators are needed for your printing statement. Python automatically adds space between the arguments. Like while we giving like this, it's automatically adds space between the arguments, and this method is useful for printing multiple variables without worrying about converting types. Like here, we just print it because it was a string. If we try to print like my, can say give a number here, num equal to 9, 7. Okay, my favorite number is using a plus. We give num. What happened? Let's try running it. Okay, now look, like they said, can only concatenate string, not int. There is a type error. We said here after the plus operator we need to use a string character, or it may result in a type error like this. Okay, so working on this might help you to know where the error comes, how can we solve it, all that. Now if we give here the same, here we are giving num. Let's try running. The number, my favorite number is 7. Yes, my favorite number is actually 7. Now there is no kind of error. So this method is useful for printing multiple variables without worrying about converting types. Okay, it's much better than concatenation method. And there are other methods like using the format method. Can using format method. Okay, here we print my favorite food with the curly braces, and we use a full stop plus the format method. Okay, now try running this. We get my favorite fruit is apple. Here the format method is versatile and allows you to insert dynamic values into strings. Like it's especially handy when dealing with multiple variables. If we have multiple variables other than string, we can use this method, this format method. Okay, so this will help us to include multiple variables. If other variable is there, we can include that without finding an error. Okay, this is how we use format method using a full stop and the format method plus the variable. Okay, and the other one is our most familiar one. We mostly use string in our Python because we are using Python 3.6 plus version. So let's print it, printing using string. Okay, so here we use where none is, I'm just doing it for short. We can just give like this. Before that we need to add the f, so it becomes the variable. Here the f strings are a modern and clean way to embed variables directly within a string, and they are fast and highly readable. Like this we can read it easily. It's making them the preferred way to print in recent versions of Python. Like in the recent codes we can see they are using f-string mostly and avoiding the basic printing statement. Let's try running it. My favorite number is 7. So we can just using the f-string we can add as much variables, multiple variables, okay? And let me say, and my favorite fruit is, try running it. My favorite number is 7 and my favorite fruit is apple. So this is how we get it using the f-string. We can use as much variables here and most simplest method and high readable way. Okay. We can use as much as multiple variables. We can include numbers like that. And now let's talk about set and end parameters. Set stands for separate and end stands for end itself. Okay, the set parameters here using set parameters. Okay, we can run it and see what happens there, so you can get it so easily. We are using a set method here, printing apple, banana, and cherry with the set and the assignment operator giving minus, and we can use the end. Now let's see what happens here. Here we are giving this line 1 comma end equal to without anything, it's an empty end. Then this is line 2. Try running this. Here we saw the line 1, line 2 in a same line, and the apple, banana, cherry is separated using a minus sign. Okay, we can hyphen. You can say it as hyphen. So the set parameter changes the separator between the arguments. Like we can directly give a underscore. Now it becomes underscore. We can give star like this. It's like we can give anything between the arguments, while the end parameter specify what to print at the end of the statement instead of a new line. Okay, we are creating a end like this. We should get this print statement in a line. If you cut this one and just run it, we get this in a 2 separate line. If we add the end statement here, Now it becomes the one line. So while n parameter specified what to print at the end of the line instead of a new line, we can add end in your line if we need to continue something for a long time. So like this we can print everything in a single line. Okay, so this is what we learn about print statement, how it goes and how it works. So that's it. It's a short video, so if you want, I'm going to mess with it because it's simple and just try doing it again and again so you get how it works. Mostly we use f string in printing. We print in both we can print single variable or multiple variable. So this is all about print statement, print function here. And thanks for watching. We will come with the sets now. And I hope this video help you to learn more about the print statement. See you again, guys.